Hello, welcome to NeoScribe. Only the greatest achievements in the realm of science and technology warrants the word miraculous. The discoveries that demystify what was once unknown, and the inventions that tame what was once impossible. Apollo 11 was indeed miraculous, occurring decades before it would have under normal progression. It was the crescendo of a 24-year competition between two superpowers motivated by the paranoiac threat of nuclear war. And tragically, this was the height of human space exploration for the United States and humanity at large. 2020 marks the end of a decade remembered as a dark period for American astronautics. 42 years after Apollo 11, the United States inconceivably went from planting its flag on the moon to complete impotence, finding themselves with no launch vehicle to take astronauts into space. The mighty NASA, with the most massive budget than any other space agency by far, has ironically resorted to hitching rides on the Russian Soyuz for the past 9 years. Two major turning points in history sum up this downward spiral. First was President Nixon's policies on human spaceflight, which ended human exploration beyond low Earth orbit. Budget deficits and the social unrest caused by the Vietnam War influenced these policies, now known as the Nixon Space Doctrine. The second point in history was President George W. Bush's decision to cancel the Space Shuttle program by 2011 and return to the moon via the Constellation program by 2020. The decision was a step in the right direction. However, the Constellation program fell behind schedule and was over budget and was canceled by President Obama 6 years into development, replacing it with the Space Launch System, destination Mars. But within all of the disarray lies salvation. Under the leadership of NASA Administrator Mike Griffin, the commercialization of spaceflight formed. In 2005, Griffin challenged the U.S. private industry to develop space launch vehicles capable of transporting astronauts and cargo to the International Space Station. The challenge spurred the Commercial Orbital Transportation Services Program and later the Commercial Crew Development Program, which stimulated the development of launch vehicles through government funding. Funding from these programs allowed a newly formed private aerospace manufacturer in Hawthorne, California to flourish. Space Exploration Technology Corporation, SpaceX. From the time it received its first NASA contract in 2006, SpaceX went on to become the pride of the commercial aerospace industry with a cascading list of achievements. They were the first company to launch a commercial satellite into orbit using a privately developed liquid-fueled rocket. They were the first private company to successfully launch, orbit, and recover a spacecraft, and first to land an orbital rocket's first stage, to name a few. SpaceX plans to execute their most significant achievement to date, which is to launch astronauts into orbit, a feat that only 3 countries have ever achieved. On May 7th, the company will execute the Crew Demo 2 mission to launch astronauts Douglas Hurley and Robert Behnken to the International Space Station on a 14-day mission. Michael Hopkins and Victor Glover will be standing by as backup crew. Hurley and Behnken will ride on the resplendent Dragon spacecraft. Draped with its lucid white surface and rounded angles, the capsule's exterior has a refined aesthetic akin to a high-end automotive design. Considering SpaceX CEO Elon Musk is also the CEO of Tesla Motors, the beautiful design of the Dragon spacecraft is not surprising. And the interior is nothing short of a work of art. Its hollow, minimal design is jarring at first sight, making you question whether you're looking at an actual spacecraft or a sci-fi movie set. The black, ultra-ergonomic roller coaster-like seats pop out amongst the pristine white finish. Suspended by subtly placed bars, the seats appear to float in the capsule as if perpetually in a microgravity environment. See how the Dragon compares to the ancient Soyuz. Astronauts tightly packed like sardines inside the Soyuz will feel like first-class passengers inside the Dragon. And the Dragon's slick touchscreen control panel compared to the Soyuz collection of physical buttons and switches and analog expanse. SpaceX even designed their spacesuits for functionality and style. Not only are they form-fitting and look futuristic, they can create pressurized environments if needed and are equipped with liquid cooling systems. SpaceX has done and is doing so much to revolutionize aerospace. They are spearheading reusability, which is essential for lowering the costs of access to space. The technological breakthroughs alone set them apart from the competition. But it's the smaller details, like putting the extra effort into visual design, that reveals their DNA. You see, SpaceX is an aerospace company that lives and breathes astronautics without constraint. As Douglas Hurley and Robert Behnken blast off onboard SpaceX Falcon 9 and Dragon spacecraft, American Astronautics will take its first step towards its former glory achieved long ago. And thanks to Mike Griffin, the shift to commercial spaceflight will have a lasting impact on American astronautics, allowing SpaceX, under the leadership of Elon Musk, to revolutionize spaceflight. Because throughout its history, it has been through the wick of its visionaries where America shines brightest.